Okay, so the latest Liverpool transfer news. Three major names being talked about today. Some new news out regarding Nicolas Pepe. Some very surprising news about Virgil Van Dijk, which we'll talk about. And the one that just doesn't seem to want to go away, Philippe Coutinho. Some sort of new news regarding him, so we'll have a talk at him. Now, first, it wouldn't be right without talking about Liverpool's first pre-season match last night against Tranmere, 6-0 win. Nothing surprising there, you'd expect to win. Klopp played 11 in the first half and then switched them for a totally separate 11 in the second half. It didn't really matter who he put on a 6-0 win. Couple of things just of note on the transfer side from that match. Harvey Elliott, the 16-year-old kid from Fulham, who's not yet signed, that deal's not yet done, he was in the stands, so it pretty much looks like that one's happening. And the signing that has happened, the 17-year-old Sepp van der Berg, wasn't playing. Now, he's apparently ineligible to play at the moment. And listening to Klopp after the match, it sounds like he's going to be one that's probably not going to feature for the first team. He's sort of hinting that he's one to see how he develops. So those are the two signings from last week. The interesting thing was obviously Divock Origi was playing. He signed his new contract a couple of days ago, which I predicted would happen. He scored last night, and Oxlade-Chamberlain was back in the side. But the big thing from last night was Ryan Brewster with 2 goals and 1 assist. And Klopp was pretty impressed, I think, by him. He sort of in his after-match press conference, he sort of built him up and knocked him down a little bit. So he's one that I think he's really excited about, but he doesn't want to let it go to his head. Now, when questioned about his transfer policy and his transfer window and the lack of big signings, Klopp was, he was quoted as saying, "We brought them in already." Now, he was referring to Ryan Brewster and Oxlade-Chamberlain, who didn't really play last year, he sort of said that they are new to us, so he's classing them as new signings. Now, Brewster is a fantastic player, and I think Klopp actually said those words exactly as that. He said the season depends on him. Sort of saying the door's open, it depends on him as to whether he grabs the opportunity and fulfills that potential. He went on to say he's a top talent, he'll play an important role this year. Now, what he did say, which was very interesting, is that he suggested that they wouldn't really need Brewster as a traditional down the centre forward, but maybe on the wing. So that suggests that that he's looking at possibly a player that can play out on the flank a little bit. And that brings us nicely on to Nicolas Pepe. Now, a lot of talk about Nicolas Pepe, and there's talks going on, etc. Now, there's new reports come out that deal isn't going to happen. The talks aren't ongoing, the deal won't happen. Nicolas Pepe's agent has been working very, very hard in the press to try and manufacture a move to Anfield for Nicolas Pepe, as yet nothing's happened. And you can see where Klopp's coming from. He's in effect, he's secured Divock Origi, and there's mixed feelings, I know, with Liverpool fans about him, but he secured him on a new long-term contract. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was injured most of last season, he's back in the fold, and he's talking about possibly Ryan Brewster maybe playing him slightly off centre, more out on the wing a little bit. Now, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's known traditionally as sort of an attacking box-to-box midfielder, but if you go back to his Arsenal days, he really was trying to break into their team as a regular, on the right as an attacking right winger, attacking right midfielder. But in those days, you had Theo Walcott in the side, who was pretty much seen as their answer to that right attacking wing spot. So, he moved into the centre midfield and provided that sort of box-to-box thing. Now, I don't think, although all the reports are Pepe's dead and there's no talks ongoing, there is one scenario where this could relight. Now, Klopp's under no pressure. He's manoeuvred himself in previous transfer windows, where he's under no pressure this transfer window to make any major signings. But I think he'll have a good look at Brewster in pre-season. He'll obviously see how Divock Origi gets on, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is renowned for his injuries, unfortunately. He's a terrific player, very exciting, but he has a history at Arsenal of injuries. Now, if Ryan Brewster doesn't quite look to be developed to the stage where he wants to play him a little bit more regularly in the first team this year, and Oxlade-Chamberlain picks up an injury, then you could always see Klopp go back in for somebody like Pepe as a winger. But as we speak, I think that one is very much on the back burner and unlikely to happen if Klopp is pleased with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Brewster and Origi. So I think that one's pretty much dead, I would say, at the moment. Now, very surprising news about Van Dijk. Barcelona apparently have been sniffing around and asking as to his availability. And you know, I think we can all know exactly what the player and Liverpool's response would be, and basically he was told, you know, no way. Now, I do worry a little bit for Barcelona. They seem to be going after these big, high-priced players, and it's almost like a bit of a scattergun approach. And, you know, they've spent big money in the past, and it hasn't always quite worked out. The team has been built around Messi for many years, and, you know, he's just starting to get to that point where he's entering the last possible couple of seasons of his career. You know, if a yard of pace goes from him there, you'll see a totally different Messi. There's talk that they're looking to sign Neymar and Griezmann. Neymar's causing havoc at PSG. Great player again, but personally I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. So, you know, if they're looking to sign players like Neymar and Griezmann, and, you know, they've got the audacity to ask about Van Dijk, they're going to need to sell players. And that's where the Philippe Coutinho rumours won't go away. Now, it's been quoted that Barcelona have said he's not going anywhere this season, and you would expect that until they actually sign some players and have a need to sell him. They're not going to get the money back that they did pay for him, so you can't see that one happening. However, if Neymar and Griezmann do go to Barcelona, they will need to sell, and Coutinho is an asset that has got a fair bit of value there, which could solve their problem. Now, are Liverpool going to be interested? Lots of different comments I've had regarding Coutinho, and I think on balance most people are saying we don't want him back. You can't deny he's a class act, he's a class player, and he would fit into the Liverpool team. I don't think Klopp is seriously looking at him, but I think there's always that chance that late on in the transfer window, and Klopp referred to it, you know, the window doesn't close until the 8th of August. So there's still an awful lot of time there. And like I say, you only need some injuries in pre-season. You only need one or two players. Don't look to come back in the form that they finished last season. And Klopp may well revisit that one. But as we stand, the rumours that just won't go away, everybody's featuring that it's you know, he's coming back, Coutinho wants to come back, Liverpool want him back. As we speak, I can't see that one happening, but never say never. Like I say, Klopp's under no pressure, and if the right player at the right price came along in the transfer window, I wouldn't be surprised if he did make a move. So as we speak, no massive news. Klopp looks very relaxed with what he's got. I think if I was in, I would be fairly relaxed. I would still like him to sign an attacking midfielder. I still look at Milner. I think I've mentioned it in several videos. You know, he's one that we look at and we say, yeah, he's performing absolutely fine. He's got a great engine on him, but, you know, 34 this year, I think he is. So that's one that needs looking at. But as we stand, I think Klopp's fairly comfortable. Great win under his belt last night, as expected. But he could have a good look at some players, and no doubt he will have liked what he's seen. Let me know what you think on the Nicolas Pepe one, whether you think that one's a mistake, if it has gone dead. And if anybody saw the match last night, let me know what you thought of Ryan Brewster, because he really does look a top talent to me, and I would really like to see him get some game time in the team this year. And you never know, by the end of the year he may be mentioned a bit like Trent Alexander-Arnold is at the end of last season, and one season and he became a regular in that team. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe below. Appreciate all the support you give the channel, and thank you once again for watching.